In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a codominance cross. Before we jump into the actual problem, we need to understand what codominance means. Okay, codominance means that the third phenotype, so the heterozygous phenotype, is going to be an equal mix of the dominant and the recessive alleles. So for example, in this problem, we're working with cattle. We have red hair, which is the dominant allele, white hair, which is the recessive allele. But the heterozygous phenotype is going to have roan hair. Roan means that there's red and white hair present on the cow or bull. Okay, so they're both present. Another example might be in flowers, you have a red dominant allele, so red petals. White petals would be the recessive allele. The codominant heterozygous phenotype would be red and white. So you could have red, white, alternating petals. You could have red and white polka dots, but both are going to be present as if both are equally dominant. Okay? In this problem, it says a white cow is crossed with a roan bull. So cow is female, bull is male. We want to know the genotypes and the phenotypes of the F1 generation. Another term for F1 generation is the offspring, okay, or the children of the cow and the bull. We are going to go through the same four-step process that we have in the other problems leading up to this. So the first step is to pick a letter and define it. I already picked a letter for you, and I defined it a little bit, but we need to do the same process that we went through for incomplete dominance. We need to write out all three genotypes and then define them using the correct phenotype. So for instance, if we start with red hair, that's normally the dominant allele. So in order to have red hair, it has to be homozygous dominant or big R, big R. The heterozygous genotype, which is big R, little r, is going to be roan. And the white hair is going to be little r, little r. Okay, so again, we went through, we named the three possible genotypes, and we associated them with their possible phenotypes. That's going to be step one. Same for the incomplete dominance. Step two, same as every other problem, we are going to show the cross. So we are crossing a white cow, which in this case is going to be little r, with a roan bull, which is big R, little r. As you can see, doing this first step correctly is really important because it can help you with step two, and it'll also come back and help you with step four. So be very careful and take your time with step one. So my cross, my white cow is the little r, my roan bull is going to be the big R, little r. Step three is the same as every other type of problem. We do the Punnett square. So I'm going to take the cow's alleles and I'm going to break them up into her possible eggs. Half of our eggs can have that little r, the other half will have the other little r. And then I'm going to take the roan bull's alleles and break them up into what his sperm could possibly have. So 50% will have the big R, 50% will have that little r. Then we go through and we play battleship. We bring the little r down, the big R across to get big R, little r. We do the same here. For the bottom row, we bring the little r down and we bring the other little r across to complete the Punnett square like so. The fourth step is going to be to state the genotypes and phenotypes of the offspring. So I'm going to start with the genotypes. We look at the four squares in here. These are the possible offspring. We see that 2 of the 4 are going to be heterozygous. So 2 out of 4 is 50%. So we know that 50% are going to be heterozygous. The other 2 are little r, which means those are going to be homozygous recessive. So 2 out of 4 is 50% homozygous recessive. So the babies that the cow and the bull have a 50% chance of being heterozygous, a 50% chance of being homozygous recessive. The next step is to look at the phenotypes. In this case, we are just going to match these up with what we did in step one. So these two heterozygous genotypes are going to be roan-haired cows or bulls. Okay, so 50% of the babies are going to have roan hair. That's these two boxes. The bottom two match up with white hair. So this means 2 out of 4 is 50% are going to have white hair. And that, my friends, is all that you have to do for a codominance problem. It's just like incomplete dominance, but instead of the heterozygous being a blending, the heterozygous is an equal mix, so both are going to be present.